Hello and welcome to this video. So in my previous video, I don't know if you have seen it, but I created some swatches of these 10 half palette SCHMINKE watercolors, and I was pretty surprised by how much I love it, because I own SCHMINKE for 3 years and I didn't like it before, but there are a number of reasons for that and I will just tell you in a second. So I thought that the swatches that I created were like done in 8 minutes. It was a super quick video and I just did it because my child, who is 18 months old now, she slept a little longer than I anticipated, and I had a few extra minutes, and so I thought, why not? I have the time and let's just create some swatches and see if I like this palette or not. And I loved it. I absolutely loved, especially how the different colors interacted with each other. It was beautiful, even though it wasn't very nicely done because I was in a rush. So some of the colors melted together, and well, I will just link the video in the description so you can see it for yourself. But today what I did, it was a couple of days ago that I created this video, and I still haven't stopped thinking about that palette. I love it so much. I want to buy it again when this one runs out. So I thought, why not paint a little girl as Santa's helper with that palette, so that we can all see it for ourselves if we like it or not. Most of the time I create figures for my illustrations, so I wanted to see how I like this painting, especially for creating vibrant looking children. So I thought of this little girl, and as of now I think I have used 5 shades. I started it with India yellow, and then I added some lemon yellow for the highlights, and cadmium red for the cheeks of the girl and for the right side of the head. For the left side I used carmine, and then I added some ultramarine blue for the shadows of the head. And right now I'm adding cadmium red to the shirt of the girl, and I already love this image. In the end it turned out a little bit I don't know how to say it, too yellow, or I don't know, it's just, it doesn't look like a skin color, but I think it's still perfect, especially for illustrations. It created a wonderful magical atmosphere for this painting that I just loved it all the way through. And so the reasons why I didn't love SCHMINKE before. So in 2020, just right before the COVID hit, I purchased my first 7 single palettes of SCHMINKE, and I remember one of them was aqua blue. It's a beautiful light turquoise color, and I am still in love with that color, but not with the pen that I purchased, because it is one of the very few shades that SCHMINKE has that is granulating, and I don't like granulation. I try to avoid it at all costs. I had to learn what granulation is the hard way. By the way, I'm adding Prussian blue to the head, to the snowy head part of the girl's head. So I had to learn the hard way that granulation is basically when the particles of paint sits together in small groups and your surface is looking a bit grainy after that, after it dried, and I don't like it. If I want to do that, I can just buy some granulating spray by SCHMINKE and do that. But I don't want it. I never wanted to do that. I just love smooth, clear surfaces. I think it's beautiful. Even though you can see that I added some texture for the head of the girl here. But that's what I wanted. That's what I wanted to create some texture there. But yeah, granulation is just not for me anyway. So I was pretty disappointed, and the other reason I had bought quite a few shades of purple and pink. I think I had 3 of them, and whenever it dried and I would add a second glaze, a second layer or a third layer to my painting, I would just straight away lift up all of the paint. With SCHMINKE, it didn't happen with the other brands that I used, White Nights, Winsor & Newton, Daniel Smith, but it did happen a lot with SCHMINKE, so I ended up throwing out to the bin quite a few paintings because of that. But now that I know better and I know how to use it, I started to use those shades more and more as well. And as you can see, I don't add that many layers now. Like sometimes I do, but I try to stop myself at maximum two or 3 layers. So I actually did a little cheat here that I didn't want to. It was not intentional. Is you can see that the girl's eye has some very pale green there, bluish green. And I completely got lost in the process of painting, and I forgot that I swore I would only use that 10 shades that are in the palette, but that little light green area is by Winsor & Newton. It is called Intense Green. But I'm going to fix it soon and add some permanent green, which is in this palette. Right now I'm using Sepia by this palette, by SCHMINKE. And I'm adding some contouring to the eyes, eyebrows, nose and lips. And yeah, so I use pretty much all of the shades here. I didn't think I would use them all, but I did. Especially I loved at the end I add some permanent green to the background. That makes it even more Christmassy, so I just absolutely loved it. And I loved this paint. I love how smooth it is. It's very easy to paint with it. And also I love that it's pretty bright. So it's even saturated when you use it with a lot of water. And it becomes very easily very translucent. But also if you keep adding shadows, it just falls. Keep adding paint, it just falls at the right place, and it's very easy to create beautiful shadows and highlights. With the other paints I didn't notice that there was not so much difference between the lightest and the darkest possibilities of a single shade. So the 10 shades are lemon yellow light and Indian yellow, carmine red, cadmium red, ultramarine Prussian blue, and then we have yellow ochre, which I used at the very side of the child's face to create some darkness there, and her neck also. And also her hair, the lightest colors of her hair is with yellow ochre. And then we have English red, which was the darkest shade of her hair. We have sepia that we use for contouring, and this permanent green is the 10th, that is for the background and for the child's eyes. So this was it for this video. I hope you liked it, and I do hope that I made you want to buy this palette because it's so beautiful. At least I love it. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.